some of us have a lot of children, some of us are just out here just living life. And things like what you're talking about is really concerning me when it comes to people that I know.
Yeah.
You know, like for instance, I know some people that have suffered certain illnesses. Like I know people that suffer with sickle cell disease. I know one person in particular that I know. She has I don't know what the illness is, but she has been in hospital before with sepsis.
Yeah.
And now, I'm pretty sure she's covered. But for somebody like that who is not covered, or maybe is covered, what would you say to that person in terms of getting the best deal for people like that? Let's just say, for instance, she said that she was covered, or this person said they were covered. What would you be looking for in that policy to get the best out of the policy for that person?
Yeah, it's all in terms and conditions, all's in the right. You always, before signing up for insurance, you have to make sure that, and ask the right questions and make sure that you are being covered for that particular disease or illness or whatever it may be. Some insurance companies are not very clear, as in, you know, and they have their terms and conditions, so when something is triggered off, they're able to say, no, we're not covering that. So I always say to people, and I think I was saying this to someone earlier, was regarding when you put your information down and you say what is wrong with you, you need to be as honest as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say, you know, insurance companies don't. No. Insurance companies love to pay up because they want their success rate to be better than the next provider.
Okay.
They want to be reliable. They want people to sign up to them and say, you know what, I'm insured by this provider. They're solid.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
The more you do that, the more, you know, the more traction you're going to get. People know as you're the reliable provider that actually pays. The only time that someone doesn't pay, or an insurance provider doesn't pay up to someone, is when they're not truthful in the application. They haven't told you the full extent of what their illness is or whatever issues they may have. It could be that, you know, they say they don't smoke, but they do smoke, and then on their medical records, if something happens, they die away from lung cancer. Well, hold on a minute, you didn't disclose this, you're not getting that money.
Wow.
It's literally as that.
Do you reckon it's just down to like embarrassment, or
I think
why do you think people don't tell the truth in certain, you know, when it comes to like some of the questions to do with your health?
Yeah.
Like for me, I don't have a problem because I don't have any underlying health issues.
Yeah.
And I don't see the reason why I would sort of like withheld information about if I did suffer from X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Why do you think some people don't actually say what needs to be said in the time when they're being asked? Do you think some people actually know what they're suffering?
I think a lot of them don't know. I've come across where I've had to sit down with clients and go through their medical issues with them. You can't tell me about your medical problems without having the paperwork in front of you. Half of the things that you're going to tell me about, you can't even pronounce. How many tablets you take, you know, how much you need to, you know, how many times you need to see the doctor. All this information is important, and a lot of us, we don't have it at hand. So that's one reason. It could be down to very blasé, you know, I'm alright, I'll be okay. So they don't think it's important to highlight that. Another reason also is premiums. So when someone sees that, or they're told that your medical issues could affect your premium, they would rather hold back that information, go with a cheaper premium, and expose themselves to not being paid. So you saying you don't smoke, okay, but if something happens now and they find that you do, then you've just lost out on how much money, when if you were truthful and you invested in yourself and invested in your insurance, then you would pay that premium and you'll be okay. If anything was to happen, you'll be paid out. So it's a mixture of everything. I think it can be lack of, not say lack of knowledge, but not knowing what is wrong with you, or having that much information. Could be blasé, I'll be alright, it's nothing major to mention. And a lot of it could be finance reasons, as in, they don't want it to affect their premium.
I think one of the most important things you said right there is these policies being an investment in yourself.
Literally.
I think if people were led by that line alone, they might be thinking more about getting life insurance policies and being honest about some of the things that they might be suffering with.
Yeah.
What do you do in a situation where like somebody?
I was even going to pull you up about that. You said that keyword investment, and I learned a new word today.
Okay.
Tax-free investment.
I like the sound of that.
It's tax-free investment.
Yeah.
Anything that's being paid out to you is not being taxed.